Hi, I'm Dave Cut, and you're watching another Comic Chat. What's up, guys? Back again today with another great story in the book of the Extreme Venomverse. And for those of you that don't know, the Extreme Venomverse book is just a bunch of little stories of different Venoms throughout the multidimensional universe, as they get ready to fight this war against Carnage in the next book of Death of the Venomverse. In today's story, we'll be looking at Father Venom, or the Priest Venom. So without further ado, let's get started. So this story starts out in May of 1941, on a different Earth, of course. But the bells of Our Lady of Saints Cathedral are ringing. We see a man approaching, Father Eddie Brock. As Father Brock thinks this guy's here to confess, he turns around to see that it's John. And John's not here to confess, he's here to collect some debts. Because Father Eddie Brock is not the best father. Seems like he has some gambling debts and likes to drink a lot. And not only that, he's been skimming the money off the top of the church's offerings. As Father Eddie just tells this man that he'll get his money just to go away. So, John agrees. As he walks away, he just says, "Okay, Eddie, we'll talk. And I want you to really think things over. Maybe try your luck at poker." It's funny. So, the father does the only thing he knows how to, and he prays, hoping for an answer. And of course, when he opens his Bible to a random page, the verse that he reads says, "And the teeth of beasts will I send upon them, with the venom of crawling things of the dust." And the father's just frustrated by this because he doesn't understand. He doesn't know what they mean. And as they say, the Lord works in mysterious ways. So, as Father Eddie Brock is walking around at the basement of the church, he comes across this black liquid on the ground. And as he goes to touch it, he immediately is consumed by blackness. So there he is, just drifting in nothingness and darkness, until the only thing he can see is one little light off in the distance, with a voice that says, "Come to us, Eddie. Come toward the light." So, obviously, of course, he goes toward it. And as soon as he gets close enough to grab it, a giant anglerfish, all in black, comes up and eats him. Swallows him whole, as this venom anglerfish starts climbing this tower, slowly transforming into Father Venom. Yeah, love the look. It's actually really dope for a priest Venom. Gotta love it. So the first thing he does is go and pay his friend John a little visit. And John's kind of surprised, but Eddie just tells him he's there to talk about his debt. So of course he lets him in. And of course John's gonna apologize for having to pressure him and stuff like that, but the father just tells him he's a different we now, John. And John's just kind of confused, not knowing what's happening. And that's when the father springs it on him, turning into Venom and saying, "I have a calling, and nothing is going to stand in the way of it." And John freaks out, but Venom grabs him with his tongue. And unfortunately, he's about to die. I mean, I don't think he's going to survive this one. Because next thing you know, Eddie just wakes up in his bed the next morning, thinking it all was a dream. But when he turns on the radio, the news is talking about how they just found a dead man in the apartment, half eaten by a vicious animal. And they're calling this person the Sin Eater because the words sinner were scrawled in blood across the victim's chest. Crazy. And of course, Father Eddie finds his necklace from the night before and hears Venom's voice in his head. But it had to be done. It was regrettable, of course. The deaths of the innocent are always regrettable. But the innocent must sometimes be sacrificed for the greater good. Fear not, Eddie Brock, for I am with you. We are one. Crazy. So, I mean, after some time, detectives start poking around. And of course, they're gonna start finding out about how Eddie had this huge debt. You know, they were buddies. They liked to go out and drink in public and stuff. So, of course, people saw him stumbling around in bars and stuff like that. And Father Eddie's whole excuse for this is, did not the Lord himself walk among sinners? So, the cops don't really have anything on him directly quite yet. So, they kind of have to just let him go. But the next day, while the father is at work or at the church, a man comes in who would like to make a confession. And he starts out, "Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. My name is Emil Craig. I've been hearing voices, and he asked the father if he's heard of the Sin Eater. So, of course, a short time after, in the church office, Father Eddie is on the phone with the detectives, and although he's sworn an oath to silence, he had some useful information for him. So, a little later after that, at Emil Gregg's house, Father Eddie shows up, and he's there to help Emil with his voices that he keeps hearing inside his head. But, of course, as soon as the door closed, Venom comes out, saying, "The Lord has bestowed upon me an incredible power, holy and terrible in its ability to wreak vengeance. I wish to share that power with you. That is my ease to your suffering." I mean, they both hear voices in their head now. When the detectives show up to this place that Father Eddie had told them about, Venom is crashing out the window. And, of course, these officers are freaked out, so they just start shooting. And they actually graze him. And he goes down wounded, and that's when they can see him fully, and they could tell that is the thing that killed John Deward. And they just run him over with the car, leaving him in the street as they turn around. But he sneaks off into an alleyway, and when the officers go after him, it's Emil that they find as Venom slinks away from him, leaving him saying, "No, I need you. I need your divine power," helpless in the alleyway to take the fall for the murder of John. And, of course, when the police go to arrest him, he just admits to it. "Yes, I killed him. I killed that filthy sinner," going complete crazy. He's already hearing voices in his head, so the father just kind of played on that. And, of course, he shows up to the crime scene. As he even says, the Lord works in mysterious ways. And the detectives are just kind of shocked to see Father Eddie there, but they're just like, "Oh, whatever. We got our man, this beast or whatever. I've seen a lot of crazy things in my day, but nothing like this. But I guess you've seen crazier things in your line of work, huh, Father?" As Father Brock just walks away saying, "Yes, we do." The end. All right. Great story. Honestly, I love this book. I love seeing all the different variants of Venom and seeing what each Earth is different. Comment what's your favorite Venom so far, if you've been keeping up and keeping along. Or your favorite symbiote. There's a lot of symbiotes out there too. I haven't got into the War of the Symbiote universe yet, but that's next on my read. But until next time, guys, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. Like always, have a good one.